What is going on, guys? It's Jimmy, and today we're up against Ace for the second to last week of the USL. If we win this game, we are into the playoffs, so I was pretty hyped going into it. Ace had to be quick in this one because I had to teach him how to use his phone hotspot to battle here because his teams were on his computer and he couldn't get to them without my help, so I had to help him out with that, and we were limited on time due to that. So yeah, that's why he said that. So yeah, let's get into it. Ace is also competing for a playoff spot. If he loses to me, he's out. If he beats me, he's in, is basically how it was. And he U-turns and gets a crit on the first turn. That's always a good sign. And he goes into me and Chow to fake out, as I stayed in because I know I outspeed everything and I can return. So that's what I do. He switches in his Uxie, and I see that I do more than half, so I calculated and I made sure, and yeah, definitely did enough every time. And alright, so I killed the Uxie, and here I knew he was about to fake out to try to break that the sand, so I decided to leaf blade because he had no switch-ins, and he switched in his Rindo very Vaporeon, but that does not save him from taking a second one. And so this next turn, after protecting, he switches in his Thunderous and takes another for a huge amount of damage. And now I see that Leaf Blade kills the whole rest of his team, so there's no reason to let that thing take an HP Fire or a Focus Blast, so I went into my Hippowdon. And here comes Vaporeon, as I knew I knocked off the leftovers, so I saw that Earthquake might be able to knock him into range, and it did, so I knew at this point he would die to Sand. So I went ahead and predicted a switch in Earthquake, or Toxic, because I thought he'd go Thundo, but he went Gardevoir, and we get a solid Toxic off on that, and Vaporeon is eliminated from the match pretty much, unless he's able to Rapid Spin. Here I went for Encore thinking I was going to stay in, but I went into my Bisharp. He switched into Vaporeon right there. If I had Sucker Punch, the game would have been over, pretty much. But I didn't. I Iron Headed because that was a safe play. Here comes Excadrill. He can't do much to Hippowdon. And I just decided to Earthquake because there's no reason not to. And he switched in his Gardevoir, and that dies to the sand after the Earthquake. And then here comes me and Chow. I knew I was going to be able to take that on as well. So I went ahead and got off an Earthquake, and that died to sand as well. So Hippowdon's getting a whole bunch of indirect kills. Here I know Excadrill won't be able to kill me, so I can go ahead and heal up. And I went ahead and decided to just kill him back. And I knew I'd be able to live anything Thunderous chose to do because I knew it was choiced based on how he played it. So he had no way of killing this, and we walk out of here with the 6-0. So good game to Ace. Sorry, I feel bad that he had the time constraint, but I played quickly, only a 20-turn battle, and he really didn't have much for my walls, so that's just what happened. It was a good game. So after that, I knew my spot in the playoffs, and this game against Lippe, this next game, didn't matter at all, but we still had to do it, so I brought the team I had already built, which in hindsight probably wasn't the best decision, because I could have just built something like funny, but he battled like half an hour afterward, like after Ace, if not less, so I just didn't bother to try to build a different team. I just went in with my competitive team. He went in with a more funny team, so this will be entertaining, hopefully. He had a few cool sets that I didn't actually know he'd be having fun with this at the beginning, because he went straight for knockoff with very like a max attack adamant, maybe Bandit, I don't know, Conk, and that did a whole lot. But here I get my boosts because I brought Weakness Policy with Rock Policy, or Autotomize, and here he reveals Alamomola has Aqua Jet, and I realize it's Choice Banded. I went into this thing to Solar Beam, but then he reveals that he didn't bring Thick Fat to all this, he brought Sap Super, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but here he goes for Rock Slide, as I would expect, and here he switches back into Conk Elder. I knew I would have the berry to live a Mach Punch, so I decided to take that and do what I could. Here I go for Sucker Punch as he switches into Salamomola, and I knew he would Aqua Jets, so I decided to get a Sucker Punch off, and he kills this. So here, I'm like, alright, let's go Kyurem Black, and he goes Miltank, and we do 55, so I know we're killing with the second one. I know he outspeeds, but he couldn't really do a whole lot right there. So we knocked that out, and enter Latios, and I knew he'd probably Draco, but he actually outraged, so I knew I'd be able to get a Swords Dance up with my Kartana, and he actually got locked in for a second turn, so that'll help me out to get this knockout. So good night to Latios, and then that could definitely didn't matter. And then enter his Conk to Mach Punch, as he does, and here I know my Charizard can come in and get a kill, as I do with Solar Beam. And now he comes in with Alomomola. I went ahead and decided to switch in the Kyurem, as he doubled out to Celesteela. If he had Rocks, I don't know if this thing gets Rock Slide actually, but whatever. So then our Fusion Bulldog goes that because it was Specs with no defensive investment. And then here we do a whole bunch. Then he uses Bounce, and I know I can't do anything, so I might as well Hone Claws. But then he bounces, he paralyzes, then he can bounce again with his Choice Banded Alomomola, as I miss my 133% move. And then he kills it, so that lowered it to a 1-0. It didn't really matter, but it was funny. So now we get the kill with the Solar Beam, and that would be it. So it was a fun match against Lippe, and we're in the playoffs, or the 5 seed, and we'll go up against Dave next video. So we'll see you guys there.